Ever wonder if there will be enough fish for your children to enjoy catching? Heaven knows that some days it can seem so slow that you wonder if maybe it's already too late. Well, it's not. And to protect our resource as best we can, it's up to all of us to practice responsible angling. That means catching and releasing in such a way so as to limit the shock and damage to the fish. Ultimately, we want our released fish to swim away healthy and unharmed. ARC dehookers make this wish a reality. Hi, I'm Dean Travis Clark, the executive editor of Sport Fishing and Marlin magazines and the host of Sport Fishing Magazine TV. I fish all over the world, and I never keep more fish than I plan to eat fresh. That means I release the vast majority of fish I catch. Especially on television, I can't afford to release a fish that's been torn up from trying to remove a hook or ends up floating belly up. That's why I choose to use ARC's dehooker. I can safely remove a hook from a fish no matter whether it's in the lip or down the gullet. I found that with ARC dehookers, the fish I release enjoy the best possible chance for survival. And since I don't like handling fish and removing their protective slime coating, the ARC dehooker lets me remove hooks often without even lifting the fish out of the water.
Hi, I'm Guy Harvey. I've been fishing and diving around the world for the last 3 decades, in which time I've experienced a huge variety of different animals, both above and below the surface. And like you, I release most of the fish that I catch. During this time, we have seen the evolution of all sorts of new fishing gear and gadgets that we've just got to take to sea with us, including, of course, the advent of the circle hook. But none of them have made a more timely arrival than the ARC dehooker. The ARC dehooker has applications beyond releasing just fish. Seabirds, marine mammals and turtles, just to name a few of the others. In fact, you can remove fish hooks from any animal with an ARC dehooker.
So how does ARC's dehooker work? First, understand there are several different situations you could encounter while using the ARC dehooker, including deep swallowed or internal hook removal with handheld models, internal hook removal with pole models, which requires 2 people, lip hooked or external hook removal with handheld models, and of course external removal with the pole models. Here's the drill for dehooking an internal hook, one that's lodged in the stomach or throat, most commonly a J-hook. Grab the leader in your left hand. Hold the dehooking device in your right hand, making sure that the open end of the curl faces up. Place the rod of the dehooker on the leader. Pull the dehooker towards you until you engage the leader. Turn the dehooker 1/4 turn clockwise so that the leader enters the center of the pigtail curl. Slide the dehooker down the leader into the mouth or throat until you bottom out on the bend of the hook. Bring your hands together, making sure the leader and the dehooker rod are parallel to each other while keeping the leader tight. With a slight downward thrust, the dehooking device will disengage the hook and the shaft of the dehooker hides the hook's point so you won't rehook the fish on the way out. And for an external hook, you start the same way, then just slide the dehooker down the leader until the circle bottoms out on the hook. Now here's where the process is different. Pull the dehooker and leader apart with constant pressure. Raise your dehooker hand to the 2 o'clock position and lower your leader hand to the 8 o'clock position. With a slight twist and a shake, the hook and the fish will disengage and be released safely. On certain types of circle hooks, where the point of the hook curves in at a more dramatic angle, you may have to hold your hands at more than just the 12 and 6 o'clock position. On boats with high gunnels, or for billfish, you might want to try this long pole style that sometimes requires 2 people. For a fish hooked internally, your wireman should bring the fish alongside quickly, keeping constant tension on the leader. The wireman holds the leader and stays forward of the person with the dehooker. Hold the dehooker so that no one is between the leader and the dehooker during the hook removal process. Now, it's the same routine. The wireman may have to steer the catch until you have the proper position to get into the mouth. Continue sliding the dehooker into the mouth until you bottom out on the hook. Walk to the leader and lay it alongside the pole and place your hands over the leader. Be sure the wireman maintains tension on the leader. Give a short, sharp jab downward and the hook should be removed. Again, the point of the hook will be sheltered by the offset angle of the dehooker, preventing you from rehooking the fish on the way out. Depending on where the hook is located, you may actually have to push down more than once, but patience and practice
will really maximize the probability of your fish's survival.
If I might make a suggestion, when you first get your ARC dehooker, you should practice your release technique on an anchored cardboard box before taking on live species in the field.
ARC's dehooker has consistently passed the most stringent tests for releasing fish unharmed, and no other product has ever gained such acclaim and credibility so quickly. Just look at some of these fisheries partnerships.
NOAA Fisheries, Florida Sea Grant, International Game Fish Association, Recreational Fishing Alliance, American Sport Fishing Association, Fish America Foundation, Guy Harvey Research Institute, Mote Marine Science Lab, Gulf World Marine Park, Ponce Inlet Marine Science Center, and Cooperative Oxford Lab.
So let me quickly summarize why you shouldn't be leaving the dock without an ARC dehooker aboard.
Better post-release survival. National Marine Fisheries approved. Decreased lactic acid buildup. Prevents mortality hours after release. Undisturbed slime barrier. Angler safety. Tackle retrieval. Plus, it protects our fishery resources for future generations. It helps you comply with current and upcoming management regulations and mandates, and it makes being an ethical angler easier, letting each of us be responsible stewards of our fisheries resources.
Today, fish stocks around the world are facing unprecedented levels of overexploitation as we become more and more concerned about the survivability of the fish that we love to catch and release. Never before in the history of sport fishing has such an important tool made such a timely arrival in the conservation of fish stocks.
Sure, I love fishing. You might even say I'm passionate. But if I'm not going to keep a fish, I want it to swim away immediately, hale and hearty. And if you feel the same way, and you should, then you should check out ARC's dehooker. It'll make your life much easier and the fish's life longer.
ARC dehooker. Don't get caught without one.